你们是不是忘了我啊？我也要去。每个月会邀请知名人士举办讲座，聊一些经验哦。我也要参加。他们是线上的，培训系统开始喽。哪一个啊？下面这个等级4的，我什么时候可以去啊？从入门到失忆。上一次培训课程是等级3，下面这个，这是等级4。我都想要去比较高级的，都不能去，我只能看一些基础入门。我好像上班才上3天而已。1762，我要空手打爆某某 SCP， 这样我就可以升很多级，像线上游戏一样。
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel.
我是玩恐怖游戏呢，变成我不要听温馨故事，我要异常恐怖。
Out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry. To make sure he didn't spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle. I hope you practice
为下个月的艺术节做准备。
for next month's art festival.
水痘隔离中。
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
这温馨故事很不喜欢呢，跳过好了。
Daniel was reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page,
我
and
只
he
看
knew he
恐
should
怖血
listen.
腥。
And so he practiced the penny whistle.
开始吹。姐，这太难了吧！我不会按这个。这后面会不会难到不行啊？好啊。 是不是可以乱按啊？
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
这张超长，真的假的？
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
下一张是恐怖的吗？可以走吗？
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it.
要怎么夹到一只
Daniel
龙啊？
carefully removed it. It was marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged.
1762是一只
But
纸龙，
Daniel found a way to repair it.
庐山升龙霸。这怎么补啊？
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below. He played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo! Dragon! Soar!
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Could it be? Or is this all
他看见龙自己
just
飞
a
起来了，那是
dream?
活的。
The next day, with boredom and loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
Our town is located in the plains where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
这个地方为什么开始突然发生大地震了？一定是那个龙的关系。
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away. Daniel chased after it.
Hmm. 根本抓不到啊！
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it.
根本就超危险嘛！
Before his very
哇
eyes,
靠！
the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger. At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared. The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box.
那我有个问
Daniel
题，就是
studied the red figure
那团
carefully.
子是什么东西啊？我知道这只龙是 SCP 的，那团子欸，龙的敌人
It
吗
had？ a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming.
后面会说，
Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away. Just then, Daniel had an idea.
什么？
He took out his penny whistle and slowly
把
played
龙
a
吹大
tune.
只一点。我不想吹这个啦，烦死了。这个游戏如果我乱按会怎样？好像还是会过哎、欸。这样有过吗？好像有在过哎、欸。
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air. Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends.
我觉得这个故事非常的不好，
The
你知道
paper
为什么
dragon
吗？
traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
它会让我们误以为 SCP 有一些好的，所以我们会去摸、会去抓、会去碰，知道吗？实际上大部分都是乱七八糟的，然后我们就直接被弄死。
My cherished friend,
会讲话，
after many long years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument.
这龙也太有礼貌了
But
吧
we ought to take precautions, as the room
房
is
间
not
并不稳
stable.
定
Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit anytime.
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic. Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
这个盒子里面是连接着龙的世界吗？如果丹尼尔跑进去了会怎样？
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
不会怎样？我不信。
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like rainy days.
粪狗要把这棵树给尿到断掉了。
Only smoked sausages fit his taste.
我们刚刚不是看到一个日本的 SCP 是树吗？这是狗要玩的。
And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny?
小迪，
I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play
叫短
cat.
笛，叫比克，蓄力，干，给我啊！你妈的嘞！
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks.
地震又来了，这个一定跟龙有关的、啊。
At this moment, the box suddenly
每次
shot
地震的时
open,
候，等于
and
是
thick clouds of smoke
遇
billowed
到
out,
那些什么奇怪
followed
的
by
球要
several
跑出
paper
来。
balls.
大家丢回去了。
Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped.
我突然觉得这个
Facing
个
a friend's
SCP 虽然
farewell
是
without a
用温馨的
formal
方式
goodbye,
在表
Daniel
现，
felt confused and lost.
但是
He moved the box to the center of the
如果
attic.
这只龙
Facing
当
it,
初没有被
he
丹尼尔
practiced
补
his
好，
penny whistle day in and day out.
或者是那颗球就在世界上一直长大，然后世界就毁灭了。你们信不信？
As the days went
因为
by,
出来的瞬间会
Daniel's playing
伴随地
became
震，然后加
smoother.
上那颗什么黑核球，然后会一直长大。它等于是一个，这只龙是一
One
个
day,
必要
the
的
box
解决
suddenly
要
began
素
to
了。
move.
都会带进箱子。
Huh?
1, 2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons.
就收容失效，
They weren't alone.
一堆球，
Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
就像我们地球的大气层一样啊。我们平常都不会在意嘛，因为它一直在帮我们挡陨石，你们懂吧？挡一些有害物质射线什么的。
Another earthquake. This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8.
5.8级啊！
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
快啊，丹尼尔，快去帮你的龙补血啊！
Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious. Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball.
这个故事好刺激哦！
And then came another paper dragon.
这个故事如果不是用纸团，然后是用真实就是比例或者是真龙，然后打一些恶心怪物，这样子看起来是不是很屌？但是仔细想，这好像卫生纸一样。
Exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box.
1762都是纸。
The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper.
可以做一个
And a silence pervaded.
这个纸可以捏成一个女人形状吗？
Once again to the attic.
大脑冒出不好的想法。
Two paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
补好了。
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box.
这好像在看迪士尼的卡通哦。
The two
这整个故事真的很迪士尼
were repaired and began to fly.
小小的纸龙为了保护世界战斗，然后小孩子要帮龙补血，就变成了一段友谊这样。
Dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
他是真的龙，真的假的？我能不能到龙的世界去看看哦？ 不能哦，就说不会死的啊。哇，这一段好大声哦！怎么还有这么多恋情在啊？ 应该找吉普力来做一个动画，纸龙战争，啊，就很好看。
In the sweet melody of his playing,
然后要有一个
Daniel
故事的
felt
起源，
himself enter into the world of dragons.
一个感动的剧情的。这是龙的世界吧？他们是真，在他们的世界是真的啊，只看到这样哦，他们不会下来跟我打个招呼之类的哦。 干嘛要黑画面了？
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a
换届
long spell of peace and stability.
里面的时间跟我们的时间相差太多了。
Giants have returned.
巨人蠢蠢欲动，
They have
那些纸团就是巨人啊。
ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room.
透过纸箱入侵我们的世界。
To launch the final defense.
哦，
We will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining
那个纸箱要摧毁，要不然巨人还会继续攻击。
world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever,
嗯，
and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
要离别了。
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box.
如果不是丹尼尔，
Daniel
这个小
still
镇已经
couldn't
被
fully
巨人摧
understand
毁
what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again. A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle
你们有没有得过
very,
水痘啊？
very well.
我有得过哎。
But the paper dragons never returned.
装入背包。现在比较新的小朋友是不是没有得过水痘？
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2!
又来
A
了。
massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like
What?
they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
捕食好忙。他小。要从哪里开始补啊？都死光了欸。能够补的才几只哎，没办法全部补好哎，而且很多直接就灭了呢。巨人与龙的大战，捕龙战争，能够补的会有白点啊，不能补了就死。卫生纸也太多了吧！
But the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move.
完蛋了，巨人知道要把捕师先打死啊！
Ominous clouds rose from the box.
哎，巨人来了，
The
巨人来了！
violet lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger! Now to a magnitude of 7.1! Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragon struggled against it, with no
这
means
是
of
二郎
fighting
吗？那个
back.
形象。
At this critical moment, two paper dragons shined brilliantly. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies
自杀攻击。
into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is going stronger still! The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years! My heavens! Will this nightmare ever end?
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened.
完蛋了，他要做出牺牲打了。
Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite
这是一个感人的
understand
故事。
what. Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star.
流星龙
At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
，no， 结束了。可是龙如果不这样做，我们世界要毁灭了呢。
A huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
这样就安全了啦，因为通道被封了。这是他补过的翅膀的部分嘛？
Goodbye, my friend.
哎，拿到成就了，
The nightmare is over. The
真
earthquake
情
is
告
stopped.
白。
With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
洋葱 SCP。
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
那这是我要自己表演吗？
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
我觉得呢，我怎么知道啊？这吹的每一首不是都一样吗？我如果按错，他吹的音乐会真的比较难听吗？还要播放回忆，这样，这是什么催泪故事之类的？还超大声。 亡魂飞翔了，看到没？看到没？
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into
已经被基金会收容了呢。然后这个音乐是不是有点 bug 太大声了啦？他连旁白都盖过去了呢。成就叫龙出没。哦，这只是一个新人培训哎。看一下，然后呢，被收容在哪里？ 生物研究所，啊，丹尼尔就是博士。您说一开始新人讲座那个看起来很帅那个博士吗？那个博士叫丹尼尔吗？ 接下来呢，这一段结束了吧？来这里1个月完成是，时间过去了嘛？最近出现幻听，低沉模糊，菜鸟综合症，就觉得我的脑子已经被弄烂了。那这一段就分段吧，对不对？ 它也是一个 SCP 故事嘛，不过是属于比较温馨，然后热血的，关于勇气、牺牲。我一直以为 SCP 都是一些恐怖、杀人、血腥、暴力啊，要不然就是完全没有意义。比如说，哦，你随便一盆盆栽，哦，这是 SCP， 然后就什么都没有，也是有一些奇妙的故事在里面。魅魔少女。 啊，这些 SCP 都是大家随便乱创造的吗？那我要创造鸡鸡怪。那不管怎样，我先分段了，好不好？反正我就是一个案件就是1集，洋葱的1集，洋葱子龙。